Yo, yo, yo to the yo, yo, yo. Hey, go, go. What's going on, Alfredo? And also, if you're getting any feedback, let me know because I'm
Yo, yo, yo to the yo, yo, yo.
See?
Hey, go, go.
Oh, it works good? All right. Except for that, I'm watching the chat from the YouTube window, so I always forget to put that on mute. So what's going on with you? I'm working on a new idea. We have this little thing called a comment. TradingView calls it something. Can't remember. They call it a comment pin or something. Yeah, so tell me, are people going a little crazy? I put out my tweet about it already. I think people understand. Apparently they got 2 million pieces of air quote fake correspondence that came into their office. So I really, for me, I blame the unorganized troll. Okay, so you're going to transition the church's channel from using your channel, right? We've talked about this before, haven't we? Because I suppose that's that's the right thing to do. I guess on your channel you could still just say, presented through your technology or something like that, if they give you permission to do that. Mm-hmm. Well, make sure you write all this stuff down, and I know you don't want to hear it from me, but you're the one that should write it all down and create the guide, because I can't imagine he's not going to be taking notes. And if you did the church the right thing, you would hand over your binder. Costs. And potentially your internet provider, may not be thinking that evangelical internet content is in alignment with their, their deal. So, the church is not guaranteed, internet freedom. So you're one with us, one wrong turn, one wrong anything. But it's now going to be up to the internet providers. And they're going to be the ones to define what is appropriate and what is not appropriate. I mean, the evangelical all along, from like way back when so many of them took to the television, they started their own broadcasting channel. That used to be the Christian Broadcasting Channel. Do you remember? I suppose they're still around, but they bought their own bandwidth. They bought their own cameras, their own studios, and the layperson, kind of laughed at the whole kind of spectacle of it, with the amount of money that they raised. But if you really kind of break it all down and take away all the hysterics of the evangelical preacher and kind of look at the way that they formatted their ways to protect their content, this is where we are all headed. So, do you recall over at Blab when I talked a lot about, we have to collaborate here. We have to figure out a way to establish ourselves as our own, media company, so that if Blab goes down, we still have each other, our content, our history together, the power of, tribe. And when what happens when you have an outreach like that or a vision like that, there'll always be a couple of people that want to protect their own guru-ness. They don't, they're going to act like they're going to share, but they don't have a sharing economy in their mindset. So we got messed up. So a few of us get to go down the glory road and make it work out, and then others get left behind. Uh, so it's been a huge topic for me, but the ego gets in the way of people wanting to do these things. I think Be Live is a very good example of them using the technology. Of course, they're sitting on Facebook technology, but I don't doubt that they could actually create their own independent media channel. But these are costs, and yes, uh-huh. Okay, so it's always nice to, right? Thank you. I also want to work on towards my pitch to obtain a second client. Okay, right. And my friend who is an artist wants me to help his art business grow. Okay. Well, um, we have to take things away from talking and start doing the task work. Um, I'm very proud of Pamela, but I do think that you should have been the one that we had helped write the book. And I mean, we should have all been writing books together. And the fact that, we would allow for any kind of latency in that challenge is absolutely ridiculous. You know, that's how I feel about it. No one should have published anything until everyone had published something, or at least shown that they were a couple clicks away from publishing something. Well, who's looked at it? You tell me. Who's looked at it? Do you have your next step? Who's your publisher? Because Pamela is her own self-publisher now. Like, she figured out how to actually become a self-published author. So, like with us, we are self-published, but with Blurb. So Blurb is our plagiarizing, funnel, and of course, the software that they use allows us to go in and make modifications to the manuscript. And well, right. You said you've gotten a draft, but who has taken who's your editor? Who's taken another look at the work? Like, has Bo taken a look at the work? That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, but yeah, Daryl White. Where did Daryl come in? From the Work and Focus? Is Daryl is he is he a writer? Pardon me. Alfredo, hold on just a moment. Let me have a good cough. And okie dokie. All right, so you've got someone else to take a look at it. And so now, and then the next step is, so what's your next step? Do you know how you're going to have it published? Are you going to go through Blurb? Have you talked to Pamela as to how she made those steps? Because the way that I kind of understood it was that she knows enough about it for her to actually be the publishing arm. Okay, Alfredo, Pamela wrote a book, right? She wrote a book out of the encouragement of work and focus. Has she not shared anything about how to publish the book or a book? Because as I understand it, she knows how to publish a book to the point that she ordered her books and the books came in a box and she signed the books this past weekend. So now if you don't know how she did that, I'll reach out to her because this is now over a year later, Alfredo, right? So you guys all know that we went through Blurb, right? Blurb. Now I'll put there, we were supposed to get some sort of a link from them, but we never did. But anyway, Blurb books, Blurb books, okay? So she did. Well, there you go. Yeah, you need a publisher. But you just said to me, so I need to find a publisher. And then now you're telling me that Pamela offered to be your publisher. Okay. A good thing price isn't moving right now. Okay, this is who we use, Blurb Books. All right. Yeah. So you need to, have a date and go ahead and complete your manuscript. And also your first book, your first book, you are going to treat it like your children. I'm telling you. Just complete the manuscript and get her to publish the book. I'm serious about this now. But I take it that did you write it in a PDF reader? And then I don't know what kind of plagiarism stuff that she runs her manuscripts through, but there's a couple of things that I would want to know about, her being a publisher. But I mean, I think that she started her own, like the company and everything. I mean, she's ready to. So what is she offering as far as her publishing? Like the attributes of going through her as a publisher. I'm going to write her right now over at Twitter. See if she's around. Let's see what she has to say. I hope she'll write me back, okay? Might be able to kind of, push this along. And then who else has a book that they've been talking about writing? I know that um she was Jonathan Tripp's line producer. Terry Johnson. Terry Johnson was going to write a book. She wanted to commit. I think she committed that she would write the book last January or last January, February. Terry Johnson, right? So where is she on her book? Because you know that, like, we can get you showcasing your book. Okay, you don't know about Terry. So Terry was another one that wanted to write a book, right? That really, really thought that she had a book in her. I don't know where that book is. I want to see the book. And if Pamela, can pull together a publishing arm and she's able to go through all the steps, then I don't see why everybody shouldn't have a book, because we have the funnel for you to showcase your book, talk about the book, be interviewed for the book. I mean, we have that funnel. So I don't, you know, I don't get it. But I'm gonna sort. Oh, there she is. I'm gonna sort it out though. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to send her. I'm gonna send her the link, and then you stay in the chat, okay? 'Cause I guess it's possible that she can't really come on for very long, and then I have to grab some earbuds. So, hold on just a moment. Okay, I'm gonna grab some earbuds. So just stay with me for just a moment, okay? She may come on. I'm not really too sure. Let me mute myself while I grab some earbuds, okay? Hold on. I got you now, Pam.
Hi there.
Hey, you love.
How are you?
Good, good. See, I had no. First of all, we're live on air, but welcome everybody. I haven't been on mic since I started, so
Okay.
this is what we need to hear from you just briefly. As I understand it, you have your own publishing arm. And so
Yes.
if Alfreda was to come to you with a Word document that you could publish his book. I got you now, Pam.
Yes.
Uh-oh. We have a couple of tabs open, I think. Yep.
Oops.
I had no. First of all, we're live on.
Yeah, I just needed to mute one of them.
Okay. So, now we're getting. Looks like my internet is bugging
I've
out.
muted.
Hold on. You're still muted. You shouldn't be muted. Hold on.
No. I'm good now.
Oh, okay. All right. Excellent. So, what I want you to do, if you can, is just kind of share with us, like, what are the like the first couple of steps that he would take, as an example, once he
Well,
has.
he'll have to provide me with a manuscript.
Yep.
If he wants me to do it, and I need a payment up front because it's a lot of work, I would have to take his manuscript, put it in a book format. Possibly, if he needs editing done, I would have to edit. If he needs a cover created, if it's not created, I would have to also create his cover. And then size it to the book size that he wishes. So there's a couple things.
Okay. So right now he has someone else that is looking at the manuscript to check over the manuscript. And I think it's Daryl from Work and Focus, I believe. So he's had a second set of eyes on the manuscript, and it's in a Word press, I believe we said, or Word document. And so he would present to you, or any author would present to you the document, and if they had cover art, the cover art, and then their preferred size. Okay. And of course,
I can make some suggestions depending on the type of book he wants.
Yep. And then are you rating this out based on time, or you have like a flat rate, or what are the considerations for an author to
It
come to?
depends on what he requires. If he needs artwork, there's a period where I would have to design proof, send him a proof, and then he approve or disapprove.
Yep.
Same with the layout. If he has a layout in Word, but not for some reason it doesn't fit into the templates that I use, that means I'd have to resize it. Because some books, as you know, can be as small as pocket size.
Sure.
Some can be bigger.
Sure.
Some can be in between, medium size.
So would you look at maybe your rate is a kind of a recurring fee rate based on the time, that it takes?
Okay. And also the paper quality, whether it's color or
Sure.
black.
Oh, sure.
The size of the book, how many pages.
Okay. And then are you able to say it's somewhere between $750 and $2,500, and then it's nothing more than $5,000. I mean, are you able to kind of rate card it that way?
I can give him a ceiling, yes. I can give
Okay.
anyone a ceiling,
Right. And you can,
depending on what they want,
not
whether
just a
hardcover,
quote, but
paperback, or not.
right, something that he can like go, okay, now I know. Okay, generally, for me to get my manuscript into any kind of, tangible product, it's going to cost me generally this amount. Because I think that what I'm seeing is that a lot of people just don't know. So they sit on these manuscripts because they just don't know.
Hmm.
And okay, so that's Alfredo. Alfredo's in the queue, and I don't. Alfredo, are you still in the chat?
I said hi to him, but I didn't get a response, did I?
Okay, all righty.
Yeah.
Now, inside of Work and Focus, are you letting people know that this is the sort of thing that you want to do, or
No,
are
we haven't had any discussions about it.
okay?
I've
Because
just been advertising it on my Tech Talk Multimedia Facebook page.
so he's known about it,
He
right?
may have, because he's seen my book. And I'm currently working on another author's book right now. I'm in the middle of just in the thick of it
Okay.
right now. Another author has given me her manuscript. I've been working on it for about a week.
Okay, because Terry Johnson also had a book, right? That was committed, to being done. Were you aware that she also is working on a manuscript?
No, I wasn't. No.
Hmm.
I remember us talking about possibly starting one some time ago, but I didn't know it was in the works.
Now, for you as a publisher, like in the works, is that you have enough to share with someone else? Like, it's not just Cliff Notes and it's not just an outline, but that you actually have pages of written text?
Yes. I
Yeah.
have a full 72-page book that I'm working on right now.
So, and Alfredo, you're telling me that Daryl has taken a look at the manuscript? And it's a manuscript. It's not just bullet pages, even though, the work he does could be created that way too. But okay. Very, very cool. That's what I wanted you to kind of put out there, because I don't quite, when I ask about how's the book coming, and this is not on you, by the way, this is more on everybody else. If you have a book in you guys, and you can hear me for the replay viewers, if you have a book in you and you're stuck at, well, now what do I do? Connect with someone who's prepared to take your manuscript and
Beanie,
get you your first book, because
I'd like
once,
to add something right there. They
pardon?
can contact me. They can contact me at Tech Talk Multimedia on my Facebook page, and we could take it from idea to a full-fledged book.
Yeah, check the banner. You see the banner up above? That person that's got their name on it, that's the lady that you're listening to right now. And she is ready to listen to where you are with your book, okay? Because we all have a book in us. The problem is that we don't take it to the next step. So I'm suggesting that you do that. Please, everybody, don't be sitting on these ideas. It's really, I think it puts a lot of burden on you. And Alfredo's in a position now where he has to train somebody. And that's another idea, is that, there you are, you have to train somebody, but you don't have a dang book. When they could have the book and come to your classroom with their book and their notepad, and all of a sudden now your book becomes something of value. So, oh man. it just gets me right, like I go, oh, that's stabbed in the heart when I hear, because for over a year now, I've been, trying to get him to get this book out there. So now he's telling me today that he actually has a manuscript. So I'm like, wow, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to write Pamela right now. So, oh man.
So we can do that in two forms. We could do it in paperback and ebook format for them.
Well, I think the example of your first book being that's your calling card, not only for your topic, but also for the publishing arm, that, hey, listen, if you think you've got a book that looks kind of like this and this many pages and, let's talk, because this book I can get for you. Like, I know how to do this book because I've done it.
For the record, my book was just released this week on Kindle.
Oh, congratulations. Wow.
Yeah,
So you're
so
full
I've
circle
gone
now.
from paperback to Kindle. Takes 9
Wow.
days, and we're now available on Kindle.
And then what's your price point over at Kindle?
$9.99.
That's really.
Yes.
How cool is that? Okay, so now that you've been approved on Kindle, do they allow for you to have bundled specials, like if you have a follow-up book, or are you able to then put together your own recommended shopping, bundle?
I suppose so, but I haven't approached it as yet. I know they do that over at
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. You can
Mm-hmm.
do
So
stuff
you
like
can
that.
change the pricing if you want to on the
Pardon?
fly, or do you have to get that approved as well?
Change in pricing?
Yeah, can you change the pricing?
Kindle does that for you when they run specials. They notify you.
Oh, they run a special. Oh, that's cool. And
Mhm.
that's like a couple of times a
You
year?
have to
Or,
sign an agreement um to allow them to do that when you sign up for your Kindle. So all
I
of that is
see.
prearranged.
I see.
So
So
you give
they,
them the
yeah,
authorization to run a sale on your
right,
book.
right. Because, I mean, they've got the analytics. They know when people are looking for your topic. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's really cool. Wow, congratulations. Because that's where well, these are the areas that we're stuck. If anybody's listening and you have a manuscript, because we gave an attribute, it's not called an attribution, it's called a dedication. So on one of our pages, we did a full dedication. And that dedication is for a married couple. So we need to take those names off and either put another, some sort of other dedication on that single page. That's it. That's the only change that we really have to make to the book. Once you get a hard copy of your book, and you probably saw this too, that you're always thinking, oh, wow, I could have put a little something there, or I could have done a little something different here. Once we received the book, actually, the hardcover, there were a couple of pages where, oh, wow, we might have wanted to put that picture a little different, or the text, because ours is full color. The text is on a colored background that when you're looking at the PDF on your big computer screen, you can see everything, and also because you wrote the text, right? So you kind of know what's already there. You're not thinking of it from a reader's perspective, that they're reading it for the first time. An example would be white over taupe. That's the example, or white over gray. And that text
Yeah.
doesn't, like the text I'm showing as an example on my chart right here, it's not the easiest to read. It's easy for the person that wrote it, but it's not easy for the reader. So
Right.
there's some minor modifications, but over at Blurb, a modification, if I'm not mistaken, is like $5, and you go in there. But you have to power up the software, and because it's a software driven deal with them.
Hmm.
So Well, I just want people, you know how I feel about this. I mean, I think that when we were asked such a long time ago, well, what do you have to sell? And the answer that came back, well, nothing. And they would say, well, what about a book? You got to have a book. No, don't have a book. You got to have books.
Well, Beauty, I gotta run. It was nice stopping in to say hi.
Okay, so follow up with Alfredo. I can't wait to hear what the outcome is.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Okay, thank you so much. So that was Pamela Gomez. Please, everybody, reach out to her as she goes off. Reach out to her. You'll notice in the banner of my YouTube channel, we're advertising the deluxe fruitcake. And that is Miss Pamela Gomez, who is now an established author. Yes, she is. And maybe I'll replace the fruitcake with the book that she has recently had a book signing for, and now she has been approved and now released as a Kindle product on Amazon.com. Congratulations to our lovely friend, Pamela Gomez. And that is how easy it is to come on into my Hangout panel and sort of kind of really waiting for Price to do something so that I can put another, wanted you guys to see how I can do these comments live. And then I'm playing around with the background and to see what really looks the best on the stream. So let me go back into the formatting, the settings, go into background. I'll run through the white background and white background, and then I'll deepen the opacity. And let's see, because I still want you to see the candles. So we'll deepen the opacity like that. We'll see if we like that. And that didn't seem to change much, did it? Let's try again. Background. Deepen the opacity. And then, tell you what it's doing. It's not letting me go okay. There we go. I think that worked. All right, so let me see here if I can go over to Zepcoin and check out some of the pricing that's happening today. Went over to Zep. He's working on some cool things, guys. Zepcoin Coder, it's a Facebook Messenger where you can input your concatenated symbols into his bot and get results. Let's see, get results in this very cool way that I love, actually. I really like the messenger that he's built. Don't really have, I only have, I have the messenger bot. I believe I get comments from, let me see, my messengers include, as far as bots are concerned, I have one from James Altucher. He has a, I guess, like person-to-person bot. And then my Zepcoin. And this is how his results come out. Now over at YouTube, you can only put up to 200 characters. So what I've learned is that if I input 3 symbols and drop those in, and then copy and paste the symbols, as soon as I get the results, then I'm able to do 3 symbols at a time. And this is what, oh, you know what I can do? Well, let's give this a try. Let me put the real time in another message. So I'll do another note. Do the note here. I'm going to, uh-oh, what's happening? Hold up. Oh, good, good, good. Okay. Note here. Open up that. Keep all that. That's okay. And then throw the note in. Go. Okay. Now I can't, looks like I can't have two notes open at the same time. Oh no, maybe I can't. No, only one note open. And then if I hover over, you might be able to see. So I'll close up the original note, close that note up, and let you know this is what price is doing right now. Now, of course, you look at the BTC Coinbase and you're like, well, that's redundant. That's true. That would be a redundancy. But at least it lets you know what's going on with the Ether without me running over to the chart. And it lets you know what's going on with Litecoin without me running over to the chart. So I think this could be helpful. And then I can put this note pretty much anywhere I want, including, real time down here, for example. See what that looks like when I take it over back to YouTube. If we like that, that looks pretty good. Let's see what happens when I bring it down and where the preference is. And the preference might be better down there. Let me see. Well, I kind of like that. The only thing that would be different is maybe the timestamp. But if I didn't have if this changed and was always in the real time, that kind of works. So I think I like that. So that's from Zupcoin, guys. And the Zupcoin messenger is, let me go back over to their main deal. And what I say is, oh, let me see here. Okay, that's Zupcoin. Is I use the Zupcoin says. Zupcoin says. And when I display my real-time numbers, that's how I do it. Let me grab you another set of 3 tickers. And we'll go with, let's see. I have to go back because there's been a lot of tickers we've done. Hop on over to Bitfinex. And we'll do 3 tickers from them and put it in the, so those are the 3 tickers that I'm asking for result for. And all you do is you hit that, put that in the results in the messenger bot, and then it comes back with the result. The result looks like this. So you do have to get a little accustomed to how the bot reads. So you can notice that it's comma separated, so it concatenates. It's asking for the Bitcoin to USD pair, the IOTA to USD pair, Ethereum to USD pair, and then the result comes back in alphabetical order, so it does sort out. Now, over time, of course, you'd learn that because it gives you a little library of the tickers that you asked for, which is very convenient. So then you can kind of learn. You're really doing kind of some self-learning on how the what's in alphabetical order. It's all in real time, and so for example, this, if I was to grab this again and take it over to my chart itself, take it over here, open up the message, take it here, go ahead and take this out, change that up. See, that didn't come out right exactly. Oh, it did actually. It's because we have that one BTC. There we go. So that should do it go okay. And that's what it would look like. Let's see what that looks like on the big screen. I see. I should have changed it there. So, I mean, this is a little taxing, but I think that when I'm live, so 1, 1, 1. It should have come out just fine. Go OK. Alrighty. I think when I'm live and I'm working like this, I think it's just fine. Take the extra step. And I kind of like it where it is too. I think it's okay. But you can't do two live messages or pop-up comments at once. So that's a little difficult. Okay, let me run back over and see if Pamela will give me the contact information again. Oops, there we go. I'm asking her for the full contact. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to take the chart down because I don't really have a lot of chart activity right now, and I'll go into my subscriber little advert. So hold on just a moment with that. I'll turn the camera off. Oh, not the camera. I will stop screen sharing. That's what I'll do. And we'll go down and we'll check out where the artwork is. Now, I have had a little difficulty with organizing where this art goes. So I did open up a file called OBS. Yes, I did. And the thing about having artwork in a file is that you have to open up the artwork, take it off the file. Of course, this is when you're not in OBS. Oh, see, that's even the wrong one. Like the one that goes where the arrow goes the opposite direction. You have to remember to put the file back. So that's a little, I'm not so crazy about that. And then I grabbed the wrong subscriber art. And now I have to figure out where it is, and where I think it is over at Canva. So that's really going to mess me up. So what I'll do for now is, see, instead of opening up another site, go ahead and get it back up. Oh, there it is. I saw it. That's weird. Okay, there we go. I found it. It was right there. Open up the file, make it full screen on my desktop, and come on over to the Hangout. We go into screen share, which is on the left rail, which doesn't always come out. Go, application, and there we go, map and hide and present to everyone. Okay, thanks. All right, there's my subscribe. Check it out on YouTube now. See how that looks. There's the Hangout. And the YouTube should be right here. Okay. All right, well, that was long. Okay, here's my subscriber card. I built this in Canva. It's the first attempt at having one single card. You can use this on your YouTube thumbnails for some of your outreach, because it's just very serious, what they call the CTA, the call to action. I kind of put every kind of bell and whistle in this so that I could be reminded of, some sort of method, the things that I found important. And as time goes on, I'll get the right mood and the right colorization and all of that. But basically, your call to action is right there in the center, is that I'm asking for you to subscribe, and I built the arrow so that it draws you right down to the subscribe and notify area of your live YouTube. And then just generally, are you daily? Are you every Sunday? For me, I'm almost daily. And then some of the places where you can find my content. And this is really kind of acts for me as a script, because I don't always remember that that header on YouTube also puts you into contact with the other outreaches that I have on the internet. So, for example, this could be, you could have 10 or 12 or, whatever to allow for the viewer to get a quick snapshot of where you can be found on the internet. So definitely those. And because Canva offers you all the logos, this is like a no-brainer to build out your logo set that way. YouTube doesn't give all of the logos for every content outreach. So they have some defaults for, I wanted to say that they have the default. If you don't have a logo for your website, then it just gives, of course, the website. It lacks the logo. So it does help for you to have some kind of visual of the artwork for the site. So, for example, here I show my Instagram, of course, my Twitter, my Blogspot, and my WordPress. It also lets you know that you can build the script up that my work is out there under different, obviously. You're on the internet, you're going to create, like with the Beauty Bubble Blogspot, I was the Beauty Bubble on YouTube because I couldn't get Beauty Bubble. And then, of course, when I built the Blogspot, I called myself the Beauty Bubble. And that seemed to work then. And then, of course, the Chart Chat Connect came into my life. And then the Twitter, I think, even came after the Google Plus or the YouTube, as far as becoming active. And then the Instagram, clearly by the time I got over to Instagram, Beauty Bubble was not around, but I was pushing out more content around the live. So, you can't, I know that we've all been through kind of these branding conversations, and that, you have to serve your community well by making it very easy to find you. So things like, it would be nice if it could have been where, you can find me by just simply typing in the word beauty, right? That would have been great. So it isn't always the fate of your outreach for everything to match up, but what you can do is that you can use a visual, and then people know. I think that to put people on the sliding scale of that they don't get it would be silly. You have to help them along and make sure that you're pushing it out in a visual form of how people can find your work. And actually, this about page or this about section of this card, my original about me, I think I had like 15 different places, and it would allow for the little favicon. So we all had a lot of fun because the about me page was completely different than it is right now. It really acted as a big billboard calling card, so you could continually add all of the areas of interest that you had on the internet, and then you hope that you can connect with people that have similar interests. And then the two square areas that you see, this is just a copy and an image paste of some of the videos. Now, if you have the full feature set over at YouTube, you're actually able to create a card that looks like this, and people can then go into your content from the card. So, but I figured out this particular graphic from another big YouTuber that was using the same sort of setup. Now, mine is not as stylized, and obviously they have graphic designers that work with them. So, there's a lot of improvements that can be made to this particular graphic, but it has everything, all the components, including the hashtag. So I am noticing this quite a bit, that most are committing to a hashtag before they commit to a logo. Notice you don't see a logo. You don't see an avatar of myself. There's none of that. You're trying to put people into contact with your content. So I found that that was kind of interesting. Now the YouTube subscriber, she did in the center have, some wacky picture of herself. So clearly, you can, there's plenty of room. You can see lots of real estate on this particular graphic to make sure that people are finding you. So that's a little primer on what I've been doing with the subscriber. And I think that it has worked. Well, what I tell you has really worked is the 10,000 lifetime views challenge. And it gets back to putting out a challenge, for yourself. Well, the first thing is that being challenged and accept the challenge, because you're going to be a little upset in the beginning. And this particular challenge was very, upsetting, not only to me, but to a lot of people. So let me go ahead and take us off of the screen share. We'll go back to the chart. Let me X out of that and not forget, I'll do the housework right away and drag that over. I'm also going to take Oscar and put him in a folder. And I have a undated folder that I have to find. Where are you? Undated, untitled folder. Put him over there. And then what is this here that I have? Okay, we'll put that down there. Just do some housework while I'm with you guys here. Okay. And then maybe what I'll do, let me see what's going on with price before I move around. Okay, we're getting a little bit of activity in the chart right now. So, but let me put this out. I really haven't gone crazy with doing too many of these, but I do believe in them. And I think that they offer for a really cool way of sharing thought. And when you are online, I really do. I think that this is very, very powerful. So this is a copy and paste of a piece of Twitter. I didn't have to create anything new. The only thing that I added was from Jimmy's song. That's all that I added. I took it over to Canva, and I copied and pasted his text, and I threw it in Canva, and this is what I got. And I had to put it in a file folder or a folder over at Canva that matches up with the right size over at Twitter. But what I'll do is I'll pick up my Twitter so you guys can actually see what this looks like out on Twitter. And so this has been very useful for me. I actually got a lot of, because they're graphics that are not coming from Plato, Socrates, Rembrandt, Machiavelli, right? They're not out of context, and they're contemporaneous. So it's where you take a living, breathing tweet, and then you turn that into a quote card. It's much more powerful. And of course, this could be put into the Hootsuite and be used, but you're creating your own quotes from people and subjects that are hitting your particular audience. I never really did understand, and I'll give you an example. Someone that sucks on a beer and doesn't get up because they're hungover and puts a tweet out about sunshine and rainbows when the weather, when it's snowing, right, is like, it's just, it doesn't even match up. So I never really got that, the whole quote thing. And we would get quotes that were completely out of context to the time. And because Twitter is such a fast moving, it's like a river. And as the information, and Jack looks at it as though it's really a news outlet, as that information is going and flowing, you don't want to stop and then read a quote from Socrates, during something that's moving the news. It just doesn't make any sense. So you take this is me now. And I think everybody gets it that, if it doesn't make sense, I'll probably end up talking about it. But, you grab a tweet and then you make that a quote, and then you give attribution brighter that way. Don't try to make it your own. Don't try and put anonymous, or something like that. So I'm going to show you that. And then let me go back over to my, and we're only talking this way because I should really be keeping an eye on the price. Price is not really moving. We are still trading at 16,849, and the Coinbase price last was 16,827. So $22 difference there. All right. Let me go back over to the Hangout, and I will stop screen sharing for just a moment. Let me take down Jimmy's quote, and I will open up my own Twitter if I can figure out how to do that. Okay, do it on the chart. And we'll open up my Twitter. And we'll come back over here. And we will go into tweets and reply. And actually, we should have just gone into media, because that'll show it really nicely there. And let's see. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay. So what I'll do is let me go to the Hangout, and you're going to be looking at my live Twitter. So it is right now. It's not a cut and paste. Live Twitter. Okay, so there we go. So Jimmy had, in fact, we'll even search for Jimmy, how Jimmy put this in. So Jimmy writes the quote or the tweet. I grabbed the text. I took it over to Canva. I created this quote card and I pushed it out. And it happened literally in less than 30 seconds. So it's extremely contemporaneous. It works great for what he's thinking for the day. You give him thanks, and there you go. Now let's go into some analytics about this tweet. Go into tweet activity. Now I only have 86 impressions. Now why wouldn't it be a little bit better than 86 impressions? Well, one reason is that the quote has the material in it that is not repeated up here. So I could have actually put a basket of, because I have enough room, I could have put a basket of hashtags that could have connected the material that's in the quote card with the tweet, and we might have been able to get a little bit more reaction from that. So that's an idea there. So definitely expand it. The thing is that you're going against what's inside of the quote card by jumbling up too much up above, but you can always, I could have sent it on to Canva. Canva might have been able to give me a little bit of a boost because they feel like it today, etc. So let's go and look for Jimmy. And there's Jimmy right there. I do follow him, and I think it's important that you follow the people that you quote. And there's his quote right there: 7 deadly sins of crypto. So I just took a copy of that, threw it in a quote card, and look at this. 1.2 thousand likes, 433 retweets, and 56 comments. So after 6 hours, people really like it, and I liked it too. So now he did it 6 hours. It came into my timeline right before I put it right before I put it together. We go here. Let's kind of get what people have to say about his 7 deadly sins. They just added more things. So same thing applies. quotes on quotes. What are people really, thinking? That people wanted to talk about covetousness and greed. Someone said incredible tweet. Let's see here. Powerful observations. So I could have used that. Maybe I'll do it again and I'll grab more of what people's reactions are and then create a better subtext for the tweet. What I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing any hashtags for the results at all. That tells me quite a bit. And we have additional quotes from other high-profile people in cryptocurrency. The whom shall you worship? And there we go. And now I could return to this in a couple of hours if I wanted to build another one with a different background maybe and see how it goes, but nobody did what I did. Now I could say, okay, nobody did what you did because what you did, doesn't work. We've heard these kinds of comments about some of the stuff I do. Well, I don't know yet. I did one concept. That's it. One quote card. I could show you other quote cards from a couple of other high-profile people, and they've worked out really well for both of us, and they're fun to do. So they're like little gifts to your community, I think. So I like them a lot. All right, so we're coming into 2 hours, and I have an event at 4 o'clock that I want to be able to do some promotion on, and I don't think that they have a green room quite yet. So let's go ahead and we'll bump out of the screen share, go back to voice, and also Pamela has forwarded her Tech Talk multimedia marketing. Okay, got it. And so let's get that tweet over to the live event. This is Pamela's contact information over at Contact. That's Pamela. That is her Facebook page right there. And I believe it's called Tech Talk Multimedia. So that is the publisher du jour. You need to contact her. Okie dokes. The next thing is, I don't think I really don't need that anymore. I wanted to see whether or not the guys had put together a green room. So let me get the chart up and then I'll put myself on mute for just a little bit while I look some other details out here. Oh man, that left side of the Hangout screen is just so annoying. Why won't they just let me keep that as a fixed element on my Hangout? Please, if you can hear me. If you can hear me, I need to fix that. Google, I'll be right back. Okay, I think this might be an interesting read, and then we'll close it up. This is from AngelList, and they have done an article, and somewhere in here it should be about cryptocurrency. Crypto is booming. Here we go. If AngelList traffic is any indication, people are keenly interested in Bitcoin this week. If you're interested in the space regardless of your skill set, read our guide, How to Get a Job at a Crypto Startup. There are 350 plus crypto startups hiring on AngelList, including Coinbase. Here's a little piece about working at Coinbase. Coinbase needs all the help they can get to keep up with mainstream demand for cryptocurrency. Postscript, the Coinbase app became the #1 on the App Store yesterday, and the company announced that former PayPal CEO and current Messenger chief David Marcus will be joining the company's board. If you're new to this space, Linda Chi, a former PM project manager at Coinbase, put together a list of beginner's guide articles she has written on various crypto assets, including Ethereum, Monero, Litecoin, OX, Tezos, Bitcoin Cash, Decred, and Zcash. Bitcoin is just the beginning. So there we go. Crypto is a booming. All right, we'll grab that text, come back over to TweetDeck, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not too sure that I can do a full-blown label on that. Let's see if I can. Hold on, just don't, let me get a comment button up, comment note up. There we go. Take this off and throw that in there. And go to a very tiny font and go here, and that's what it said. And if you want to follow AngelList, you can go to AngelList or over at TweetDeck and search for AngelList and check them out. There are also a couple of the how-tos, the how to get a job at a crypto startup. I think that that's probably worth checking out. Also, the jobs at Coinbase, definitely do that. And I like this beginner's guide to their articles. That seems to be well worthwhile to check that out. And I caught that only because I follow AngelList, and that's how I was able to grab that piece of brilliance. Go back up to the top. You'll notice also that in my fourth column, I kind of leave to my own interests, like at the moment. And because the thread, the Twitter thread, was released, and I want to see how people are using it, and if they are maybe having any kind of like special little tips, little things on how they use it, and what the thread really looks like, and how people are hashtag thread, like people are saying thread : with uppercase. People are using see my thread or just the word thread, so that people understand that what's about to come their way is a full thread. Even though you get that little thing that says thread, and it opens up the entire timeline of posts, where I did notice this yesterday, that people really want to have a separation between their 140, 280 posts to a threaded post. And you don't get that, like when you go to thread, it's not like it takes the first piece of the thread and, puts a gold, frame around it or something, special that separates it from the rest of your posts. So people are taking it into their own hands and using the word thread. A must-read thread, my thread, a poll in a thread I just saw. That's interesting, because I think you can do threaded polls, which means that you can get a deeper polls going on. And Twitter is really starting to have your experience look more as though it is a full thought and a full experience of the poster and what they want to share with the rest of the world. So I'm very impressed with that. I'm waiting for a what's called what in the day I used to call it pay here. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I put a little like branding around it, but it was a bracket and a symbol, and that meant that whatever I was sharing, that you could actually transact with me with Bitcoin. And so we are still waiting for. We know that Square is going to be accepting Bitcoin, and I think it's really just a matter of a couple of years until our tweets can actually do the same thing. Very excited about that, if that was to happen. And in fact, I will give you an example of what that would look like. And go back over the chart for just a moment. Nothing is happening. And then let me move our little news blurb to over here. And keep that up. Come back over here. All right, we're doing good. All right, let's see here. Alfredo's back in the house. And for Be Live on Facebook, yeah. I mean, because you've got so many people to, give you a heads up on how the Be Live works. And they keep making improvements. It seems like there's a lot of things going on with Be Live for your particular frame. I think that it does work for in-your-face camera. I've never seen a Be Live that is more panoramic, like the work that you do. So I can't wait to see it because it goes out to so many people. Once you get that whole kind of boost thing figured out and you're not overspending, I'm hearing people are getting incredible results for $5. So you could find yourself just, where the channel literally just has thousands and thousands of people because Facebook is able to reach, so many. But I do know that there's a whole learning curve about making sure that you don't, that your $5 really goes and does the work that it should do. But I've heard a lot of really incredible stories about the $5 boost. I know that the LuLaRoe women in the beginning, they used the boosted posts, and so many of them now, their rooms are so huge, that they don't find the use for it anymore. But still, yes, do that. See what it looks like on the panoramic. I don't do so well on the Facebook. I went through a series where I would try and upload, and then it wouldn't let me upload. And then I would go back a couple days later and try again and try again. And so, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just, But I love the result. The result is beautiful. I did a Medium post about embeds of live streams, and really the framing of the Facebook, the delivery of what you get, like the physical delivery, it is so beautiful. It makes everything that you do look like so unclumsy, and it's just fresh and pristine. I'll give an example of it. Let me grab my Medium. You guys can see my Medium. And you'll see it right away what I mean. I did a post on Medium called Live Watch How Bitcoin is Trading in Real Time, but I actually did what's called an article called Repurpose, which is this article right here. And we'll go ahead and we'll open Repurpose up. And it talked about, some of the things that I've noticed over the years and how the embed features have really improved, and people need to know, just have a general idea of what it really looks like once it's all said and done. But this is the Facebook interface. This is what the embed looks like when you bring it over to a website. I mean, Alfredo, is that not gorgeous? Everything about this, we can't repeat this. It is so pretty, really. And this is a let me show you, for example, when you take a pre-done professional Facebook video. That's what it looks like here. Okay, which is just beautiful. Compared to the YouTube, which has these very odd Hollywooding borders, very kind of almost clumsy. I talked about it in my article. It never really felt like it was elegant, not like the Facebook is. And then here's Vimeo, which is the most elegant of all, because they leave it to the deliverer to build the content around the frame. I think that this is really smart. There's not too much branding going on. And then that's it. But I really like, it's beauty approved. Definitely the Facebook embed delivery is unreal gorgeous. That simple logo, it gives me my view counts. It tells you where it came from. It actually refers you back to Facebook. Do you see that? If I hover over, it takes me back. If I'm on YouTube, we'll go down to YouTube. Maybe it does the same thing too on YouTube, but no. Oh yeah, I can go into the video from here. But I can also do it from here too. But it doesn't take me to me. It doesn't take me to where the content originated from. It takes me to the content. But here, it's posted by, and it takes people right to the video. I think that is genius. So well done. It's very competitive. And I think it really gives, I mean, it's definitely an entirely different vibe from what one gets over at YouTube, but still so nice. So nice. Love it. So check out my Medium posts. I'll put a link in the chat. And remember, the chat does go with as one entire piece over down inside the comment section. This is my Medium article called Repurpose. There you go. And I better pop out the chat now. Oh no, I'll do it later. Maybe what I should do though is let me pop out the chat and do a quick copy and paste. And because we've been on, that's another thing. It'd be nice to know how many posts we actually have. There we go. Copy. And I'll take it over to Google Plus. And I think maybe today what I'll do is I will need to start marking the dates off, I think. That would be helpful. Let me pop it out. Okay, Google Plus gives you a unique URL. And restore the chat. And this is where the whole chat is, the archived chat. I think I call it chat recap. Tried to do some branding with that too. Chat recap is there. Always put a couple asterisks after your URLs. I think that puts at least puts your links in a tidy little package. So that is that article. And I'm doing a few more things over at Medium that I'm really enjoying, actually. I'm working on an article. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and publish that. It's been published, but I might say that. Let me go over to my channel. I still call it a channel. I went ahead and yesterday I opened up a window, and you can see it's an embed of when I went live. I let everyone know that it was live. But it started off as a working, living blog. So as I was talking, I was actually making content posts that were relevant. And then I took all of this and I put it over at Steemit. And I don't think we're getting too much yet at Steemit, but I'm just going to keep kind of doing that sort of thing because it puts the material over at Steemit where people might pick it up. Maybe they don't follow me on YouTube, but maybe they're sorting their lives out with the Bitcoin hashtag over at Steemit. So that's what I've been doing with Medium. But I have so many things that need to be finished up, and just where the writing needs to be finished and published and out and done and taken off of my whiteboard before the end of the year. I've got about 8 articles that are just ready for some finishing touches, and then publish them out. Publish them, or copy and then send them over to a file bin. So that's my Medium. You guys, let me get into my actual Medium. But Medium is on my subscriber page thing, and still no activity in the chart, so I don't think anyone is missing out too much just yet. And then we'll close it up in just a moment. And this is my link to my Medium. And there we go. All right, well, 2 hours in and really no activity whatsoever. This gave me a chance to play around with the comment pin, and I really like it. So we put a comment pin about the current condition of the chart. Here, I'll roll through the 3. We've got 3 of them done today. We have this one here, which is the current condition of the chart as I see it. We did one down here, which is at that moment in time, the price of only three tickers. And then because we came across the article from Angel List, we went ahead and did a kind of a news blurb over here. So as I clean this up, what I can do, because when I come back to the chart, and put that over here. And this is I know it sounds kind of crazy, but one of the reasons why I've always kept a rail over on the right-hand side, yeah, this isn't going to work so well, is so that I can put annotations and very cool things like that. And then the big annotation, of course, is the disclaimer, and I'll get to reading that right now. 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to go ahead and read this here. Hi, everybody. This is Beauty Bubble. Thank you very much for the replay viewers that stopped by, and for the viewers that have stayed with me for over 2 hours. Please be advised that all the content in the charts that I share with you is shown for entertainment and educational purposes only. Trading the stock, bond, currency, cryptocurrency, commodity, and futures market can be rewarding, but it is also risky. Be aware that you can lose money and in some ways lose more than you have. It can also be profitable, but not without significant risks. You are responsible for your own independent investment transactions. The charts shown are not to serve as an investment advisory service. I highly encourage you to seek professional advice in regard to your own financial decisions. Information you may get from my chart, the charts shown, and its further discussion outside of this forum, such as in chat rooms or other Bitcoin forums, may not reflect my opinion. The charts shown and their content is not a solicitation, nor an offer for professional investment advice, nor is it an offer to buy or sell stocks, bonds, currency, cryptocurrencies, commodities, and/or futures. Also, on a side note, I'd like to let you know that I come to you, free of charge. I have no sponsors. I have no affiliates. I'm not affiliated with TradingView nor any other service such as TradingView. And however, if I was, you would be the first ones to know about it, and we would be sharing precisely what the results of that outreach would be: sponsorship, gifts of kindness to my Bitcoin address. And I would much rather have a relationship with you on the blockchain. And so if you'd like for that to happen, then make sure that you read in the subtext and everywhere else my Bitcoin address and put a relationship on the blockchain. This has been Beauty Bubble for Chart Chat Connect. Talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye now.